Hi, Sean Huckster here with Magical Little Worlds with me. That's a little project I'm working on over here. I've done a couple videos on that, more on that later. But for now, tonight, I've wanted to bring this to your attention. This is brand new, just off the truck. I heard about this only like a couple of weeks ago, and suddenly it was on Target's website, unexpectedly. I got alerted by people in the various Polly Pocket groups. And then I jumped online and ordered it, and sure enough, it was in stock, and they said they were going to ship it. Took a couple longer days than I thought, but you know what? Here is the new thing I got tonight. You may notice something about this. This is almost exactly the same package as, I don't know, maybe the number's different, but this Polly Pocket Collector Partnership concept with no clue as to what's inside. This was exactly how the Addams Family was shipped. I saw it and it had Polly Pocket Collector Partnership Compact, but it had no indication on there, not a clue, that it was the Addams Family set. This is not the Addams Family set, and there are no clues on the box as to what it is. In fact, the box is kind of, well, let's just leave that for a moment and open the box. We cut through the tape. Should be red, so we can cut through the red tape, but nope. All right. We slice through here and try not to damage what's inside by slicing very thin and on an angle. And we open it up and we have, well, I'm a bit clueless. So guess what's inside, guys? Let's turn this over. Best way to remove this. These collector partnership compacts are always well packed with corner protectors to make sure the boxes don't get crushed. And we have the Clueless compact. Now, I had heard months ago that this was one of the ones being worked on, including Wicked, and a couple that I didn't even know was being worked on and have been announced recently that kind of blew my mind. Like, for example, they're going to be doing Elf, which is I've seen the pictures, it's beautiful. They're doing a Peanuts. They're also doing a fashion one. I forget the name. It's 4 letters, GCDC or something like that, which not my favorite thing in the world, but I'll probably buy it because it is collector. It is a collector's collab. And here we go. So give me a quick second to pause as I gather my mind and we'll get right to it. Now, I'm pretty sure these boxes are collector friendly, so we're going to be opening them shortly. But first, let's just have a quick look at the box. We've got the black and gold Polly Pocket. Let me just zoom in a little bit there. Polly Pocket Collector logo that we get with a lot of the collector sets in the collabs. And of course, the box is pink with kind of like a sparkly. It's not really sparkly, but it's got like a painted on to make it look like sparkly. Then there's a lot of accoutrement that would be very 90s based. You got this flip phone here. You've got a cassette, a pen with a pom-pom on it, lots of hearts. Then you've got Dionne, Tai, and Cher here, each with phones. You got Clueless with, again, not real gems, but made to look like there are gems attached to the word Clueless. Then you got the compact itself. Up top, more Clueless. On the side, a big heart with presents, with actually shopping bags, of course, because this is what they do, right? Keep in mind, guys, I haven't seen this movie since it came out in theaters originally. That's how long it's been. So I may get some things wrong, and if I get very offensively wrong, you can tell me in the comments. But at least I know that Dionne, Tai, and Cher are the main characters, and I did like the movie. It's been a while. I haven't had a chance to rewatch it. Now, what I love about this is a photograph of the front of the compact. Now, this is a Polly Pocket-esque reproduction of the movie poster, complete with her fur stole, with Cher's fur stole. And let's see, bottom of the box, nothing there. Top of the box, we've seen it. Anything there? No. What is that? No. So we're now going to open it using our handy-dandy craft knife. And we just slice there. I don't think there's anything onto the sides. This is possibly the only thing you have to pull. Not really sure. They do like to make it so that you can put these back nicely, which I really appreciate, and I'm sure a lot of collectors do. You know, I want to zoom out a bit because I really can't get the whole experience going here. So I think if we just pull this slowly out, yep, that'll work fine. If I recall correctly, that's much the same way as the Addams Family compact came out. I'm hearing some rattling around in there, as moving parts are obvious. Now, here's the real question. Can I pull this bubble off without ripping the package? Some collectors' packages are collector-friendly and have these tabs that come under, and I'm afraid this one does not. So I'm a little bit surprised there. I wonder, though, if there is a multi-shell. You know what? Yeah, there is. I made this mistake with the first Addams Family that I opened, and I've opened two, in that I thought this bubble, which is glued down, had to be ripped up to free this, but that's not true, because this is actually covered with a separate shell, which I'm pretty sure is taped, and I'm going to just check that out. Yeah, so there's tape here. And there's tape here. I made the same mistake with the 3 key ring box too, with the recent 3 key ring cases. I ripped it out of the bottom here, and without realizing I didn't have to. If I could just find the tape, the inner shell is kept down, but not. You don't have to separate the bottom piece, and this will come right on up. Now, be careful, because there are accessories on this. Luckily, they're taped. Okay, I was just wondering why there's 2 phones when I know there's supposed to be 3. Another one is up here next to Cher. So first we have Dionne's hat. And I've made the mistake before of just popping these out and they go flying, and it ends up somewhere on my room floor, and I don't like that. So I'm going to do it this way. Oh, that's on there hard, man. Okay, and this is kind of a bit rubbery, so it's not fragile anyway, it's a bit rubbery. Then the phones are taped in those, so that's a smart thing because they're very tiny. You do not want to lose them. So you pull the tape, and these, by the way, these may be the second smallest Polly Pocket accessories I've ever seen, with the very smallest being, can you guess? Thing from the Addams Family. And now that I look at it, this might even be smaller. Not sure, but they're pretty tiny, guys, so be very careful. These are the ones in the future when you have this set, and people are going to be selling these. They're not going to be complete because the phones are going to be missing. And it actually makes me think somebody will probably reproduce them in resin print or something so that they can replace them. But yeah, there's your phone, and I'll put that one here. That's 2 phones. And because we want to be able to put this back, I'm not throwing this away. Packaging, nope. I'm putting it right over here, off camera. And then we're going to, now I don't think there's anything else that has to be done to pull the compact out. Pretty sure you can just lift. I'm hoping anyway, you can just lift. Let's see if this comes out first. These little edges here are your challenge. So you might have to get in there. I am going to pause this briefly because I do not want to make this a problem. And then I'll get right back to you as soon as we're out. And here we are out. I got to tell you, bit of a challenge. The plastic shell has little inserts along here and here and here and here that make it very difficult to pull out. So you kind of challenge yourself. And by the way, there are some residual tape pieces from when the inner shell was taped on. So you got to pull these away. There's actually 4. There's 2 here, and then there was 1 here and 1 here that I've already removed. I wonder if there's any up top. Yes, there's some up top as well. Oh, that might be to hold this in place. So we haven't gotten there yet. All right. So before I open up and reveal anything, I'm going to try to undo this packaging to get Cher out of her prison there, get the phone out, and remove this tape, and we'll come right back. So we remove the tape here. There's tape right across these windows attached to this outer shell. There was no tape over here, though. So I think we're almost done. We now have to get this shell here, which has Cher inside, and the phone. So let's just pop the phone out first, I think. If that'll go. You know what? Let me see. You know what? We're going to open this. And I'm going to take her out. I don't want to spoil the reveal, so I'm going to open this, take her out, and close it, and get right back to you. And here's the star of our show, Cher. I mean, the intricacy of this pattern is amazing. I know what they're doing. They're using this new print system that seems to be like a spray inkjet that sprays over space, because you can get a lot of detail on a curved surface, whereas before, printing was basically confined to flat surfaces, more or less. So there is more tape, by the way. This phone is taped in place as well. So you open that, and I'm going to pop that out, I hope, and not lose it. These, I mean, you're going to lose these, guys. Be very careful with these. So that's the 3rd phone. Let me just move some things around here. Get her accessories back over here. That's 3 phones. And the hat. And we're going to pop Cher out. And now we have all three of our characters free. Cher's looking pretty good. She's got the gummy hair, the sort of, you know, silicone hair that's kind of nice. The plaid detail on this is absolutely spectacular. She's wearing her high-heeled or high socks and white shoes. And let's talk about the other characters. We also have a Jeep. Yeah, it looks like it's actual Jeep because it's got the Jeep grill. And it's got the license plate as if, which of course is a tagline from the movie. All right, let's go. Down at the bottom, we have, as in many Polly Pocket sets, we have a gate to come into. It's got the word Clueless here. Now, the Addams Family has a similar one with the Addams Family written on it, and it opens in two ways. This one opens right on in as one. Coming into the courtyard here, oh, look. We've got signs of tire braking. And I assume she's very clumsily going to knock over this plant. Yep, the potted plant gets knocked over with some squeal of brakes. And that's kind of cute. Let's put that aside. Here's Tai. And she also has plaid. That's actually nicely detailed. She has rubbery hair as well. She comes out. She's wearing black shoes and pink or orange or kind of coral-colored socks. We'll put her next to Cher down here. And then Dionne, also plaid. Very nicely done. Detailed plaid on these things. And she comes out of here. Now, down here you have, I imagine this is the driveway. Like I said, it's been a long time. But since there's car tracks out here and there's a potted plant, this is probably the driveway in front of Cher's house. And here's Cher's house. So this one reminds me a little bit of the Paris set. So two vintage sets sprang to mind immediately when I looked at this. If you're a fan of Polly Pocket, otherwise why would you be watching this? Ask yourself what this looks like. What two sets do you think this looks most like, do you think, in the vintage world? And I will tell you that the ones I think they look like are both flower compacts. And the first one is for a reason that, oops, she fell over. For a reason that should become obvious in a second, is this one. This is the garden set. Now, this one is a beautiful little garden party, and you've got this little... It's funny because I've got the statue on the track. It has a track here, but the thing is that this has a statue in the garden, and this is like one of the only Polly Pocket figures that actually has a carved face, whereas, interestingly enough, in Cher's garden, there is a statue with a round face. So, but still, there were reminiscences here. And you almost want to say, well, yeah, there's some reminiscences up here as well, but this isn't a house exactly. But I kind of was reminded instantly, not only of the way the garden is laid out and the pinkness of it all, and the green, the statue was what came to mind immediately, the stairs leading up. Now the other set, I'm going to put that over here for reference. The other set that I was immediately reminded of is the other flower compact, and this is Fifi's Parisian apartment. Because when you look at it, there's a balcony with an apartment building exterior. This would be Cheryl's house. This would be Cher's house, sorry. And this would be a typical French apartment exterior on a courtyard. Oh, this is a little post-it note just saying that this is a complete set. And I'll put that aside for a moment and put her right here. So those are the ones that remind me of. Now, but the only difference is this one has a hinge right here. What does that mean? It opens. Let's open it up and find out what's inside. Over here, not much detail, just sort of the same. But here we have the interior of Cher's house. So over here we have a large television, which, I mean, looking at that television, and I can't remember the movie, that looks almost like a projection TV, a big flat screen. It was before they had LCD flat screens. They used to have large screens that projected from underneath on an angle to a mirror to a flat screen, and I might be completely wrong. The only reason I'm thinking that is it's not a rounded TV face like a CRT tube would be before, you know, the days of flat screens. There's a chair here. There's a beautiful grand staircase going up, although there's no depth to it. It is literally just a showpiece. But it's meant to give the illusion, including the balustrade and rail, to make it look like it recedes inward, but it doesn't. It's completely flat, which is kind of interesting in itself. Now over here, we have what must be the dining room / kitchen. There's a chair here. And there's a table with what looks like food laid out, so I imagine that's a place to eat, dining room. And let's go up these stairs. And up here we have Cher's closet, Cher's bed, Cher's chair with her desk, and computer. So she has a computer with a normal non-flat screen from the time, which looks like she's doing some clothes shopping. In fact, looks like she's picking out her let's zoom right on in there. Looks like she's picking out her plaid outfit, maybe to get a second version, maybe to return it, I don't know. And over here we've got a futuristic sort of modern lamp. I say futuristic, we're talking the 90s here now, I think, right? What was it? Well, it couldn't have been the 80s, right? It had to have been the 90s. A chair here, a desk with a desktop computer, and books over here. Then we've got the closet and a bed. I have to wonder if the bed does anything, because often some of these beds move or something. No, this bed doesn't have any action. It doesn't like open up or become a Murphy bed or anything like that. And the rest of the stickers down in the back are all of Cher's clothing. So you got purses and shoes and hats. And inside her closet, you have another copy of her outfit. And then this opens up to more outfits over here. And that's basically it. I think not too bad. Zooming back out now to get more coverage on the whole set. So let's talk about the characters briefly. I'm going to talk about the phones. There's not much else to talk about because we've seen most of the features. But Dionne's hat will fit on her head. It looks a bit bulky, but what can you do? Right? It's Polly Pocket. And then a phone can fit on her hand. It's got a clip for the arm, so you just clip it on. And now she's, oops, upside down. And there goes her hat. And with the antenna up and flip phone area down, she can call her friends. Let's get her hat back on. Because the hair is gel, it can slide on well if you kind of sort of screw it in place. It sits and then there's a nice thing. And of course, she can sit in any of these three places. There are three character spots on the main floor, which is good. You know, I'm just going to put her hat over here, which is good because you got three characters. So I'm going to put her back here, which is where she came in originally. Also, of course, there are places here, here, and here for the three friends as well. So you can have them all inside the house or outside the house. And what's interesting is when you place them, the house clears their heads, so you can actually open and close the house when they're in place. And then we'll take Tai and put her up by the gate, maybe, where she's about to be run over, it looks like. I'm going to place her right here. Come on, get in there. Come on, Tai. Yeah, there you go. And I kind of like that orange hair. It's really nice. And then, of course, we'll put Cher right in the center of the action, which is where she likes to be. Now, there are little wheel divots here, places for the wheels. And when this is opened, I believe the Jeep is here. But the Jeep is obviously meant to park itself right there so it can move around, or it doesn't have to move around a bit. And I have to wonder now, can I close this with the characters in place? So if I lower Dionne down, we'll work, or we'll... Maybe if I turn the car around this way. Yeah, it'll fit. And if I lower Tai down, let's spin her around so she can fold properly. And I'm wondering if Cher will just clear this space. Let's find out. Nope, because the balcony hits her right there. So if I bend her over, will she? It kind of closes. I think that in general, you don't want to leave the characters in place. And I'm not sure if the Jeep is what's causing the clearance problem, so let's remove the characters and find out. Is it the Jeep that's causing the issue? No, so the Jeep's fine. So I think you can't have the characters in place, which is kind of a shame because I like to have a Polly Pocket set that you can place the characters and then close the set with the characters in place. But it doesn't matter. They will fit in there. And just to make sure I don't lose anything, I'm going to attach these phones to each of their arms or hands. It is their arm that you're attaching it to. And another one. Don't lose these guys. I kind of wish they'd like provide a couple of extras in case they do get lost, but they don't. Okay, so we'll put the Jeep here. Oh, I didn't talk about whether they could fit inside the Jeep. So let's see how many characters can fit in the Jeep. I'm thinking maybe one, maybe two. With their arms spread out like that, I really don't think you're going to fit. I mean, yeah. You can comfortably fit two. Okay, that's pretty cool. And of course, the Jeep can crash into the plant and knock it over, which I think is clever. Very cute. I like that. The plant's on a hinge. That's a new one on me. All right, let's pop the characters just flat in place. Make sure the hat goes in or you lose it. and close the compact. And there now we have the actual compact and not the image of it. And so it's much like the package. It is the Clueless poster done up as Polly Pocket characters. And then you've got these little fake metal or studs, rhinestones around the edge, but then you've got this glitter background. On the back, you've got Clueless and the Polly Pocket Collector logo, not the new logo from 2025. And this is 2025. But the Polly Pocket Collector logo, which I'm pretty sure is the one you see on all the other collector sets, like Stranger Things, Addams Family, The Office, Friends, Harry Potter. At least I'm pretty sure. Up here you've got a very nice silvery logo, vintage, just like the original vintages. And that's it. So if you were looking forward to this, now's your chance. Jump onto Target, or I'm sure it'll be in stores everywhere. I actually also ordered one directly from creations.mattel.com. I pre-ordered that before I found out that the Target one existed, and I got the Target one first, and it wasn't even a pre-order. It was just sent to me. So, for Sean Huckster, I'm glad you came along for the ride. And if you're into Clueless, you really should get this one. Talk to you later. Bye.